Well, good day, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 1st. So happy July. Um, I'm Misty, um, and I promised you a little look at my garden. So we're outside. I already had forgotten my camera and started weeding on a couple things. Almost fell, already pricked myself and drew blood. I was telling myself while that happened, I'm like, well, I did not fall. I have I'll show you and you can see, and I'm sure all of you will be concerned. Oh, you're not walking on all these stairs, are you? And I'm like, no, not all the time, but I am trying to fix a few things, and so it is dangerous. With that being said, I was telling myself as I almost fell and hurt myself was I need to get my tetanus shot. I'm way behind on my tetanus. And I have a lot of old railroad ties that are rotten, that use those big metal stakes and rusted, and things are a mess. And so I need to do that. But I had to laugh because I'm not staying on task whatsoever. I was going to come out and do one specific thing, and then my mind went everywhere else. So let me turn you around to show you, because I've moved a few things last night, the back of my house, and which is ugly, but I'm sure a lot of us. It's all real here. I'm being real. So let me let's see. How do I turn the thing around? I flip the camera thing around, to a different view, without hurting my stream. But here, let me try it. Well, I couldn't figure it out. So let me just show it to you. So this house was built in 1975. I've been here for I don't know. Let's see, is it 15 years or so? I originally wasn't going to get it because of this backyard, because it's terraced. It's on a slope, and of course, and things grow wild all over the place. It was full of a lot of vegetation when I first came, but a lot of trees and brambles, things like that. And of course, as I was working, it went into disrepair and whatever. But anyway, it's real. So here's the back porch. In here is what I kind of call my, I guess you could call it a mud room, but it's the addition to the house that I think they did in the 80s. There's, a couple rooms up there. And, but this right here is kind of where I've been potting things up. I've already moved it and cleaned it. I had tons of things right here, but I'll show you what I'm currently working on. So I basically, kind of clean different soil and add different amendments to it. Then I start potting things up. So it's a deck that kind of goes like, let's see here. I'll show you. Just kind of a deck, just a plain regular deck. A very messy table. My crabapple tree that actually does produce crab apples. And then I've moved all of my pots in one area over here. So in this big pot I have kale growing. This is red Russian kale. It's gotten way too hot for it, so I've moved it under the shade. And then I have, all my pots that I've got some tomatoes growing right here, and some squash, a blueberry. This is my beautiful geranium that I There's Mr. Motley. Hey, Motley. This is 3 years old. I take it into the winter, and it stays with me. There's some calendula here and some snapdragons, some lemon balm, some zucchini, more tomatoes, some cilantro, okay, Misty. What is this? It's parsley. And then I thought I'd show you guys this, although it's really bent. Are we all the way upside down? Yes, it's crazy. So let me just start a new video here. So what this is white globe radish. And I've let it go, it bolted, so I went ahead and let it go to seed because I was kind of curious, even though I need this planter. These things it just bolted and got really tall. Let me see if I can. So, they just grew, and they have these pretty flowers. I don't know if this is going to produce seed, but they do have these cute flowers, and then these flowers turn into these seed pods. Aren't they interesting? And so I just need them to dry out, and I'll harvest them for radish seeds, so I don't need to buy any more. These are a tasty. Let me show you the base of them. They're huge. You can kind of see, the globed radish down here. This one's really fascinating. But these, there's going to be thousands and thousands of seeds that I'll get from that. So I'm letting it just went all over the place and was falling all over. I'm hoping that it'll continue to do what it needs to do after I've kind of bent it and put it there. But I just find that terribly fascinating. This is a group of Roma tomatoes that are volunteers. They just ended up kind of coming back in this planter. And I love this planter. I wish I had a million of them. And I pulled a lot of them out and repotted them in other places. And then I've left, I don't know how many are in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's way too many for this. But I've clipped all of the bottom leaves here. As you can tell, I put a lot more soil in here. I'm keeping all of this open. Ooh, it smells good. Smells definitely like tomatoes. And I do need to kind of put a little bit more diatomaceous earth on some of these leaves. It's still getting eaten a little bit. I can see, like right here. I'll just put some of the diatomaceous earth on the leaves. And I already have buds coming. I do try to clip the suckers when I see them, or if I see them. There's tons of buds on here. If you can, okay, you can see some buds right here. I think it's Roma. I really don't know. But I think we're going to have quite a few tomatoes. I've got a big tomato cage here. It's in almost full sun. I've been feeding it like crazy. These are old and dried, aren't they? They're just huge, massive, mammoth sunflower stems that are dried. They're really hard. And I put these there thinking I could maybe kind of trellis it as it keeps going. Maybe, I don't know. I was hoping I could figure that out. All right, so here's the dirty part of, I've got to clean over here. The deck, there's a lot of trash and stuff that needs to kind of be picked up. We had a big windstorm and all of my pots, I use old yogurt containers and stuff, everything went everywhere, so I need to put that together. This section right here is where I want to put my hens. Unfortunately, it's all bit in rock, and I've been trying to move it. This whole big thing right here needs to come down. But as you can see, it just goes straight down into several terraces. I'll show you the fenced garden where I don't let the dogs go. There's my Miss Sheila, my sweet baby pit bull. She's not a baby anymore. She's 15. There's the puppy who just turned a year. That's Charlotte. And but this is the garden. It's uneven. This year I've there's a lot of watermelon here. We have some lemon zucchini there. There's a big San Marzano tomato plant there. All of these beans here are doing real well. Right here there's a couple cucumbers and broccoli and a geranium. There's another San Marzano. I have some calendula right here, marigolds there. Up on the trellis, there's some baby tomatoes. I don't know if they're going to do very well. This is a big raspberry bush that I've already eaten a couple raspberries off. Unfortunately, and this is a second year? Third year. Third year. I'm concerned because I'm getting little teeny tiny raspberries. Now they're yummy, but I don't know why they're so small. I planted out some corn. You can't really see, but there's a whole bunch of corn there. We've got these stairs that are bricked, but you can tell that there's a lot of problem with that because the earth underneath moves and things grow in between everything. As you can tell, I have been pulling things, and obviously this step I haven't done much with, which needs to be picked up. So if we go back to this section by my tree, this I want to try to even out. There's a layer of retaining wall brick here, and then the rest of it was done in wood, which of course has disintegrated. And slowly I'm trying to replace this so the stairs are sturdy and I can walk on them. I want to make an arm railing right here, hand railing. Unfortunately, this beautiful lilac, I've already butchered it like crazy after it flowered, although I have missed a few things here. It's growing the wrong way. It's growing this way, which is where, my stairs are, going clear down to the bottom. And this tree or bush, I don't know if you know how. I think what ended up happening is that there's some. Let me see if I can sit down here and explain. This beautiful lilac is very, very old. I need to thin some of these branches, which I've already kind of worked on. But what they did, well, you can see where Motley's walking, is there's an old railroad tie right here, and then railroad ties around this lilac to make a planter. Well, so it's when it tries to grow and it wasn't well trimmed, it's growing this way and not that way. I'm not quite sure what to do with it because it's pretty much in the way of everything. So if anybody has any ideas, I don't want to take it out. My daughter loves it. The blooms are great. We do have an empty space behind us that's rather large, but then there's apartments over here. So we try, you know, we like our trees. And then if you look over here, they used the big retaining wall brick to make these tiers. So there's one tier here, one tier here, and then it goes straight down to the ground, which is also on a slope. These are great beds to garden. I haven't gardened these for, well, I put my garlic here, but they're not, they need a lot of work. And unfortunately, this one right here wasn't put in right. So there's not a good corner here, and it's leaning. And unfortunately, if I turn you around this way, this was all put in with railroad ties, or not railroad, whatever, treated wood and metal, and this is leaning. I replaced this. I had someone put in this wall. I should have had it done in stone because it's leaning, and it's only been, I guess it's been 4 years, and this is not a nice square angle. And so anyway, you can see there's a lot of space here, and this is where I wanted to do some more growing. I did plant a peach tree right there. There's an apple tree clear on the end. This is an apple tree, but you know, a lot of work. Definitely a lot of work. So what I was working on and then got distracted was down here is I have a bed that has some sage in it, and I'm just adding some compost and a variety of things. There's down there some more sage and some sweet peas. And I was trying to add soil right here, some rice hulls and a variety of things. I think I'm going to plant a couple pumpkins here because you can, you know, don't you think that we can just let it trail anywhere they want to go. I did put this tomato cage here, thinking about putting a tomato here, but I don't know. But you can see still this is leaning there. Whew. And see how everything's just deteriorating. Luckily this is, it's sturdy, it's in here pretty good. This is not. I'm thinking if I really trim this right here, see, no, I want you to, don't get in there. No, I think like this big one needs to go, which, if I trim these ones that are right here, I don't know. I'm just thinking of severely trimming this down to open up this area down here. I don't know. I mean, I love lilacs, but they don't last all that long. Okay, so what's in here in my barrel? I need my diatomaceous earth that I use a lot for kind of helping to keep the critters away. The little bugs, the cabbage beetles, things like that like to eat the leaves. I always get food grade. It must be food grade. And have an OMRI listed tag on it. What's in here is just compost, rice hulls, which is my new thing this year, instead of using any kind of vermiculite, because rice hulls is a byproduct of, well, hull and rice, and so it works really well in replacing not vermiculite, I'm sorry, perlite. So it kind of aerates the soil. It helps loosen it up like a perlite would. Perlite's expensive. It's also a finite resource, but and this also takes on some some moisture, which is great, but I've been playing with it. I also add coconut coir in here, but it's basically what this is I'm using some of the soil from the ground to make sure I get the good beneficial bugs and whatnot. That, you know, I've got extra of potting, and then I found something that shouldn't be there. It's my own compost. It's also, I said coconut coir. It's just got a little bit of everything in it. So, you know, when I'm putting new soil in my pots in my houseplants, I don't just throw the soil, that stuff away. It's not really soil. It's just, you know, a medium. I'll try to refresh it. And I'll compost it oftentimes. I'll just throw that stuff in the compost, and then it ends up in here. But there's tons of things that end up in here, and that I use to pot my seeds with, to refresh my potting, my pots in my home, for my household plants. Geez, I can't see. There's a little bit of sticks in here. It's just a little bit of everything. I'll also then use a compost tea. What's the other thing? I don't know about you guys. Do you guys like playing on the soil like this? Like, one of the things that's fun with here's a piece. No, that's not a piece. Oh, the other thing is that's in here that's real important is some ash, or, you know, from the fire. Or a couple years ago, you know, we were doing a lot of cooking outside. I've got, you know, biochar. Anyway, I like playing in the soil, and I like mixing it. I like getting it nice and loose. There's also shredded paper bags in here. Sometimes there's eggshells that aren't totally, you know, shredded. It's just a variety of stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and put another one of these down at that planter that I was showing you that I want to put the pumpkins, just to kind of, you know, refresh that area. It hasn't been used for a while. I've been watering it. There is a small sage that's trying to do something there, a flowering sage. But that poor thing is not getting any water, so it's really died back. It's like half as big. Even the sweet peas aren't doing. Usually I don't have to water over there. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that. Just a minute here. Somebody went and got a ball. All right. There we go. There's a weed that's all dried up. I think that was from last year, and that thing is in there good. And it's all prickly, so I don't want to touch it. But see how that lilac has got a offshoot coming right out of that planter. Oh, okay. So I think cutting all of this down right here. It is pretty though, isn't it? But I don't see it on this side. And this is the stuff I need. And anybody that's out there that has anything like this built, you know, without replacing it all, I mean, none of this is, this stuff is still solid, but I mean, how long does treated wood really last, right? So I'm like, do I retreat this somehow? That's something I need to learn. Then I want to go ahead and put some crossbars. Hey, baby. Hey, Charlotte. Are you being a good girl? What is Mama doing? What's Mama doing? She has a lot of anxiety, this dog. I've been trying to train her to not be so nervous, but let's try walking back up these stairs without falling down. Whew. See, this is what I'm talking about. This needs to be, so this was all redone to about here, and by my son-in-law, and then I need to work on doing this and replacing these. Now, you know, this is a whole bunch of dry rot right here. What I think is that I'm gonna pick all of these up, pull them all up, and then get all of the good debris and stuff that's under here, because there's a lot of wonderful mulch. But I really want the little rock that I have up there. I'd rather put rock down so stuff can still percolate and the water gets where it needs to. But I don't want to keep building soil. And all right, let's take this upstairs. I think that's about all that Mama can do. And then right here is what I was saying, that I'm cleaning this up right here to put a couple retaining bricks right here. This just needs nice and flattened. Woo! Okay.